Candace, followed by Chun James.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name, your address, and proceed.
Candace Fujikane, 1733 Donahoe Road, Honolulu 96822. I am opposed to DR Horton Sugar Homes' petition for reclassification of 1,553 acres from the agricultural district to the urban district. Yesterday, I received a copy of a letter to the Land Use Commission submitted by Russell Kopubun, Chair of the Board of Agriculture. In the letter, he explains that he was asked to provide the numbers for total acreage used for agricultural production. In the chart that he provides, he gives a number for total cropland acreage for 2007, 18,896 acres. I'd like to take that number and demonstrate how that number includes non-edible crops. When we are trying to find a number for acreage in edible crop production, the Department of Agriculture numbers published in Statistics of Hawaii Agriculture indicate that in the year 2007, of that 18,896 acres, only 3,600 acres were of fruit and vegetable crops. The last time I presented testimony, I used Plash's report, Oahu Agriculture Situation Outlook and Issues, February 2011, which was prepared for the Department of Planning and Permitting. According to Plash's numbers, on the island of Oahu, there are 4,800 acres of fruits and vegetables. I argued then that 1,496 acres of leased agricultural land in the Ho'opili project site represents 32% of land in edible crop production on the island of Oahu. According to, the Department of Agriculture figures are actually even lower than Plash's figures for fruit and vegetable crop acreage. 3,600 acres to Plash's 4,800 acres. So according to the Department of Ag figures, the Ho'opili project site represents 42% of edible crop acreage on Oahu. So again, the Department of Agriculture figures are way lower than Plash's report figures. If we look at that number, 18,896, we can ask what's so special about the year 2007, right? I mean, why pick that year instead of a more recent year? The charts are footnoted explaining, quote, beginning in 2007, the category of all other crops, which would be what is above and beyond the 3,600 acres of fruits and vegetables, includes non-published vegetable commodities and gingeroot, includes taro, seed crops, feed and forage crops, excluding pineapple feed products, flowers, nursery products, noni, kawa, and others. So the difference between the 2006 and 2007 figures is that the acreage for all other crops jumped up from 2,700 acres to 7,300 acres. And this is because floriculture, seed crops, and other non-edible crop acreage was added to that figure. So, let's see. My point is that even though the Department of
30 seconds.
Okay. Even though the Department of Agriculture submits the number of 18,896 acres for total crop acreage on Oahu in 2007, according to their other numbers, only 3,600 acres are in edible crop production. This is the data that they have available, and if this is the case, then the Ho'opili project site represents 42% of edible crop acreage on Oahu, depending on whether you go with the Plash figures or the Department of Agriculture figures. Thank you.
Parties, questions? Dr. Dudley?
I just want to be sure. Want to be sure of these numbers again. So, using Plash's figures, what the Ho'opili project is 32% of the edible food that is locally produced is produced on that property.
Yes.
And using the Department of Agriculture figures, 42% of the fresh local food that we eat comes from that property.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's according to their published numbers on their website.
Thank you.
Commissioners, questions? Thank you.
I have a hard copy for every commissioner. I came in late, so I don't know if it's
You can submit it to
acceptable.
the clerk.
Thank you.